The Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, and Wells Fargo Securities sat in a joint court filing yesterday that they have agreed to settle a lawsuit over 38 studios. The studio, known for developing in Daughters of Amalur, Aragami, was founded by former Boston Red Sox pitcher Curt Schilling and shut down back in 2012 after running out of money, and has been the subject of a long-running legal battle with the state. Final approval has been delayed due to the current government shutdown, but lawyers for both parties asked a federal judge to put the case on hold until after the shutdown is over, to give the second's relevant divisions and offices time to consider and approve the settlement in principle. As reported by the Boston Herald, details of the rote have not been disclosed. Schilling moved the company from Massachusetts to Rhode Island in 2010 after the Rhode Island Corp agreed to give the studio a $75 million loan guarantee. The SEC said Wells Fargo and the Corp allegedly failed to disclose that 38 studios needed at least $75 million, but would receive only $50 million of proceeds from the bond offering, leaving a $25 million gap. The complaint filed in 2012 claimed that many of the defendants knew or should have known, but failed to inform the ADC board that 38 studios was destined to fail according to 38 studios on financial projections. 38 studios filed for bankruptcy less than 2 years after the move, prompting investigations and lawsuits into the company. There's an art to acting imperceptibly to those around you, to being surreptitious, or at least hidden from view, especially in games, where other characters are programmed to spend all of their time looking for signs of trouble. But encounters and levels designed specifically for stealth armor, often poorly designed or wrote by the numbers exercises in frustration, then delightful moments of virtuosity, whether in a stealth game, as a palate cleanser, a change of pace, in a shooter or action-adventure. Designing a great stealth encounter takes novelty, finesse, and patience. It's hard to get it right, but thankfully there are plenty of stellar examples we can look to for pointers. We'll each tell two for stealth-loving game designers to get their thoughts on the stealth encounters that everyone should study, and came up with these 7 recommendations. Deus Ex, Mankind Divides, Stealthy Party Takedowns. Wildfire designer and sneaky bastard editor that Hindes points to Deus Ex, Mankind Divides closing stage as a standout moment. Usually, stealth games require you to infiltrate a hostile restricted area and take down enemies one by one without getting spotted. He explains. But this level puts you in neutral territory, a fancy party in which both you and your enemies are guests, and the goal is to take them down without alerting waitstaff, security, or other guests. This leads to tense, exciting moments where a disguised enemy might be standing next to a regular party guest. Such games, you will need to distract the party guest for a few seconds, take down the disguised enemy, and stuff their unconscious body under a table of champagne glasses just before that party guest comes back for a refill, while you walk away like nothing has happened. Or perhaps you will shoot a camera with an app blast to disable it for a few seconds, while you neutralize an enemy and move their body away from the camera's field of vision before the camera comes back online. These feel like moments from a Mission Impossible movie. Better yet, there are restricted spaces at the party like the kitchen and backstage, areas that are ideal for luring enemies into but that are also rife with danger because guards will notice unusual behavior more readily by simply twisting the dynamics of the situation. Traditional stealth mechanics and action suddenly become fresh and exciting. Taking away novel situations and new contexts can bring life to stale, old gameplay loops. And nothing says goodbye it like pulling off big stealth maneuvers while staying out in the open. Turning the tables on Mr. Freeze in Batman Arkham City. Good boss fights are hard to design, but Batman Arkham City is up a masterclass with the caped crusader best big battle against Mr. Freeze. The encounter is a double-ended cat-and-mouse game, with the player being hunted while simultaneously searching for a way to use the environment to create an opening for a stealthy boss kill. As a player, it felt really good to turn the situation around and keep hitting that overconfident jackass, explains David León, studio head at Aragami Law Works. Designing a boss battle in a stealth game is especially difficult, as the whole point of the stealth genre is to evade confrontation and find a stealthy indirect way to beat any challenge. But here the developers found a way to take the same stealth mechanics that are used throughout the game and twist them into a high-stakes one-on-one battle against a much more powerful foe. In a similar vein, consider looking closely at the final stage of Metal Gear Solid 5 as Hellbound mission, in which Snake and his prisoner must hide from a formidable, terrifying Metal Gear. Taking away the best stealth-based boss fights are about turning the tables on a more powerful foe, and they are about embracing the same mechanics that are central to the rest of the game, but with a twist. Braving the White Death in Commandos 2, Big Robot founder director General Signal Oates that stealth tactics. Puzzler Commandos 2 was an absolutely landmark game. While he believes that confirms that stealth is often best done in 2D, nowadays it lacks a lot of the finesse and technical scaffolding that modern stealth games demonstrate. He continues. But there was something about that systemic minimalism combined with exquisite pixel art that made it unbelievably engaging. Take the White Death mission, for example. Set on Arctic ice, in a Nazi polar camp, near a crashed British submarine, the player is left to sneak off the boat, while it's crawling with enemy soldiers, and to a hiding place where a second escaped commando ponders his next move. The player must then let the pair, dashing through the ice, footprints in trampled ice, and snow trailing behind them, towards a parked German destroyer, through a busy camp full of watchful Germans patrolling with their ever-pivoting vision cones stretching out before them. All along the way and in the moments that follow, the commandos' survival depends upon split-second timing, smart planning, clever manipulations of an inventory full of stolen distractions, and constant improvisation. As tensions ebb and flow, and quick load keys work overtime. Taking away, do not let complexity become a crutch. Some of the most compelling stealth experiences come from the emergent possibility as triggered by multiple layers of simple systems interacting with each other. Surviving the horrors of the Crypto in Thief, Deadly Shadows. All four Thief games can offer numerous lessons for good stealth mechanics and level scenario design. Battle Sigmar mentions the penultimate level of Deadly Shadows, robbing the cradle, as a particular standout, though he concedes that what he remembers most was watching comic author Farmer Games journalist Kieron Gillen play it in front of a crowd on a big projector screen. It's a horror-inspired break from the pure stealth of the rest of the game, widely regarded as one of the greatest and scariest game levels of all time, where stealth games are generally content to create their tension by establishing a fear of detection with hordes of patrolling, attentive guards. Robbing the cradle goes much further. One simple way it does this is that it takes the lighting dynamics of the Thief series, which in essence is that light is hostile while its absence is friendly, and manipulates this relationship. Light slowly pulsate and flicker like breaths, while sounds rise and fall and dance around and easily with them, crafting atmosphere from shattering expectations. Clever level design enhances the tension,